Could you introduce yourself?
My name is minicieli. I am Alicia Keys' engineer, album coordinator, and run her whole studio for like the last 13 years. Besides that, I own Jungle City Studios, which is a huge recording facility in New York.
You don't mind to tell them who's your client recently or before?
Some of my clients in the studio, I prefer not to.
Yeah, but how about who was using?
Who was using this place in the past? Definitely Beyonce, Usher, you know, Jay-Z, Depeche Mode, John Bon Jovi, to name a few of them. So
top artists.
Yes.
Great. And so then, how was the impression about the mic cable, white one, silver one? So how was it?
I've been using them the last couple of months. I really like the transparency, and I believe the gain stage is better. It seems like there's a better gain stage using them, and definitely on the high end on the vocals, it's just very open and clear, and very clear and pristine. So
some people said the
more bandwidth, yeah,
wider.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds wider and more like open a little bit. You know what I mean? Definitely hear the quality of the cable. There's a lot of people that don't believe in that, but they're definitely the level of cable and the degree of cable and what goes into making a cable. When you study all the different techniques and different areas and different things you can do to a cable, whether it's copper, whether it's oxygen free, all of that really helps.
Sure.
In the sound of definitely of the audio.
Okay.
So.
What kind of microphone preamp used?
I use an array of mic pre's. So I use anything from a V76 Telefunken to a Neve 1073 to Portico. I have a ton of mic pre's, ton of compressors. I have CL1B Tube Tech. I have an 1176. I have a Neve 2254. I have, depending on the vocal,
sure.
I switch my microphones depending on the tone that Alicia's going for.
Right.
So it's not one specific mic or a specific mic pre, or it depends on the vision that she has for each song, whether it's a ballad, whether it's going to sound old and retro and I'll pull out a SM7 microphone, or whether we want to sound, like really beautiful and pristine, I'll pull up maybe her C800 or her 251, and I also use Telefunken M16.
You have a great vintage collections.
Absolutely, yeah, love to collect.
Great. Have you used for Alicia's sessions?
What's that?
Have you used cable for Alicia?
Absolutely, that's pretty much.
That's great news.
Yeah, I use the the power cable. I use the base cable on the input to the DI, because I split the signal 3 times. I go as a DI, and then I go into my guitar amp. So it's important for me to have good power on my guitar amp and good power on my Avalon, because I have these tie lines, and I use these boxes that convert the signal to +4. So at every area every stage of the signal is really being processed correctly, and the power cable, I find that the noise floor is lower on the hum.
Which equipment using for this power?
Bass amp, my B15, which I had modified. I made it 3-prong instead of 2-prong, and I tried it on CP70, just experimenting with it. Definitely on the older vintage gear, which tends to be more noisy. Definitely gets rid of lowers the noise floor.
I see. Wow, that's great. Also, you used G-Spot, the purple cable for bass.
Yes.
How was it?
Sounds great. Again, I use it on the input to my my Avalon, and then from the Avalon I split to my amps. So it's sounding great. Sounding great.
Did you tell Alicia about the cable? She noticed about the difference between your original other cable and...
She noticed the difference, but she's not technical in terms of like, oh, this cable sounds, She definitely noticed the difference, but...
She's trashing you.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, great. Any other artists You tried?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm testing them myself, honestly. But yeah, for my projects, I'm trying them out. I haven't haven't given them to other people yet because I have a commercial studio and I'm scared. People pack up stuff and
Of course.
and I only have one of each, so I don't want to
Right.
somebody walk out with my cables. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I keep my personal
Sure.
stuff.
Right.